When the weather's not good outside, the second best way to grow lettuce inside is through a hydroponic system. We're going to show you the Letpot hydroponic system today. We were contacted over email by Letpot, and they wanted to know if we would take the time to review their hydroponic system. And I said, sure, send it on over. My wife has used these systems plenty of times to grow lettuce inside during the dead of winter or the heat of summer. She usually grows her lettuces and spinaches in a system like this. We wanted to take the time to review the Letpot system because it has some features that our other system doesn't, and we're going to go over that today. Let's go ahead and get to unboxing this. And this is a true unboxing. We've never unboxed this system until today. So right off, all the documentation is right on top. We'll set that to the side, some instructions. We'll set this down, get that out of the way. We'll scoot this one over and take it on out of the bag here. All right, straight out of the box, I noticed that the controls are right on top right here, and they're touch panel. So we'll raise this up. Now, if you don't know, this is where your LED grow lights are at, is under this top panel. And you raise and you lower it as the lettuces grow, you raise the panel. You want to keep the panel right over the top of the lettuce so they get maximum amount of energy from the LED grow lights. It's got some tape on top. We're going to take a second here and remove this tape. All right, took a quick second to take the tape off, and I also read over the directions that came with it. And they have a little quick pamphlet here. And if you scan the QR code, this hydroponic system comes with an app. And with the app, you not only can control the panel, but it gives you some features such as grow advice, a diary so you can keep up with what you're doing. And you can also send questions to the company and get feedback through the app. So that's really neat. Wi-Fi enabled. Is super cool that you've got a hydroponic system with a Wi-Fi app. So let's go ahead and take the top off here and let's see what's in here. All right, so here's a package right off. It's got your sponges that you're going to plant your seeds in. This bag has water indicators, shade cover, 6 of those, 6 tags, and support pods. There's 12 of those. So let's open this up and take a peek at what's going on and what we have in here. All right, so this is super cool. I've never seen in a hydroponic system before. But you've got these little stakes, so as your plants grow, you can stake your plant to these little things to help keep them upright rather than have your plants fall over whenever they get long and they can't support themselves. And I always like to have a little tag. That's neat. And then they got the little covers that covers up the holes when they're not being used. And that is super cool. So here is a water gauge indicator. So I'm assuming that's going to go right over that. And it tells you how much water you have in your system. So as your water level comes up, it indicates right on the front there how much water you have in the system. That's super cool. So our other system, you had to take the lid off and look down in there to see how much water you had, but not with this one. I'm really liking that indicator. I'm really liking these stakes. Got some nutrient bottles, plant food B, plant food A, and these come in with tablets inside. So we're going to have to add water to that to make that a solution. All right, it comes with power converter. And I'll have to check and read up and see what that is. All right, there's a water pump in the bottom that's looks like it's made into the bottom of it down there. You can get a look. You can see that water pump. So we're going to reach down here and just pull the tape off the top of that water pump and get that out of there. And I'm sure if you messed around with that, that probably comes out. I'm just assuming, but I'm not going to try to take it out at this point because there's no need to. Not sure what those are. Let me see if I can look in the book and find out what that is so I can tell you guys. Light blocking stickers. Huh. All right, read the directions real quick, and this is the buoyancy protection cup. And that's just going to go right in there, and that's going to keep the roots.
Would it slide in?
There we go. Just kind of snaps in place there. All right, we got our cup on. Before we put our cover back on, we take this wire for the water pump, and there's a little channel right here, and we're going to put this wire right into the channel, and that's going to hold that out of the way. It snaps right in there. Bend this over and plug that right in, and I'll show you how that plugs in real quick. So you see right there, there's a little hole at the top where the pump power plugs into, and then there's a hole right below it where the power plug itself actually plugs right into that. And then we'll plug this into the wall. Okay, got that set. Nice and easy. All right, step 2 of the assembly process is to go ahead and mix our nutrient. So I'm gonna get some water and we're gonna pour in these bottles, and then we'll get our nutrient mixed up. All right, so the instructions say to mix 100 milliliters of water into each one of these. So I'm gonna do this twice. And there's some little tablets in there. Just kind of show you what the tablets look like. That's your nutrient tablets. There we go. Might be a couple of drops short. All right, for nutrient B, this is what the nutrient looks like, just some little pellets. We'll put those back in there. We'll put in 100 milliliters of water.
You didn't show shaking the other one.
All right, we're just going to shake these up until they all dissolve, but we'll give those time. We'll set these down, let it finish dissolving, and we'll shake it before we actually use it for the next step. All right, now the next step is to add our nutrients, 25 milliliters of part A and 25 milliliters of part B. I did notice that the caps have little measurements on the side of them, up to 15 milliliters. So you'll have to put 2 fillings in here, one at 10 milliliters and one at 15 milliliters to get the right dose. So the first one, we'll go with 15. And then I'm just going to put that. There's a little fill spout right here, and it's funneled so that when you pour the water or nutrients in there, it funnels it inside and rather than just spilling. Okay. That's A. That's 15 milliliters of A, and then we'll put in 10 more milliliters. And that's 10. Okay, put the lid on that. Set A to the side. B. $15 milliliters of B. And now 10 milliliters for a total of 25. I like that I don't have to go searching around for measuring cups, that the measuring cups are right on the nutrient. That is really convenient that they went ahead and put those measurements right on top of that for you. All right, we're done with the nutrient. We'll set that over to the side. You see a little gauge come up over there. All right, now that we got our water added, our gauge is all the way up to where we show full. We'll put our water spout in here. Now let's go ahead and turn our pump on and let the nutrient and water start mixing. And there's a little protective film. All right, guys, we got this turned on to let the nutrients start mixing. You cannot even hear that pump circulating, but I can tell that it's circulating because the water's moving down in there. But I hear absolutely no noise coming from this. I wasn't even sure that was even on. All right, great. So now let's go ahead and open up the package. It's got 12 of the baskets and 12 of the little germination covers. We'll set those to the side. We'll need those when we plant our seeds. There's a little package of sponges. Now, every time that you use this, you're going to have to replace these sponges. So you can get your sponges on the website and just replace the entire grow sponge. So you just throw those away when your plants are finished. And the sponges just plop right down in there. Go ahead and start putting those in there. Actually, we should probably put our seeds in there. There's a little hole right down the top of the sponge where you're going to drop your seeds in. And we just realized it's probably a better idea to put your seeds in there before you put them in the water. Because those start absorbing water, they're going to swell up and that hole in there is going to close. Now the seeds that we like to grow is spinach and lettuce. We're going to be planting Bloomsdale long, which is a spinach that we like to grow. So we'll just take 1 or 2 seeds and we'll drop it down into each one of these little sponges. Now if we get 2 seeds down in there and 2 plants start coming up, we'll come back and we'll pinch out the one plant that we don't want, usually the weaker plant. And they're not swelling up too quick, so probably would have had time to put the sponges in here in the water and get our seeds planted and not be in too much of a rush. Now moving on to our black-seeded Simpson lettuce that we like. Now, one of the fun things that you can do whenever you're planting your seeds is arrange between the plants how you like them to grow. So if you want to alternate spinach, lettuce, or you want to put all spinach on one side or all lettuce on the other side, that's one of the good things about growing hydroponics is before that seed really gets to going, you have that chance to rearrange. All right, guys, we're gonna let those sponge soak up water. And it usually takes about 10 days for lettuce and spinach to germinate. We'll take our germination caps, and this will just hold moisture over the tops until those seeds sprout. But once those seeds sprouts, make sure you take these covers off, because if you don't, then you're running the risk of mold and bacteria starting to grow in there, and you don't want to kill off your plants. So be sure to remove these little caps as soon as you see those little plants starting to grow. Now we've got this thing turned on. It's going to run for 16 hours, and then it'll go dark for 8 hours, and then turn back on for 16 hours. It's got two types of settings, a veg and then a fruit and flower setting. And what that's going to do is change the wavelengths of light that your plants are getting to better optimize what stage of growth you're in. All right, so we're going to pull this light down real low over them, and we're only going to keep the light just a couple of inches right over the top. So as these plants grow, we're going to move this light back up as it grows. Check back with us in a couple of weeks and we'll give you an update. If you want to know more about Letpot, you can check them out on their website. And so far, I'm really liking this. I know Michelle is going to be excited to be able to grow these lettuce in the kitchen and use it right here where she's growing it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and go check out Letpot. Remember, keep growing, keep building, and always keep adventuring. Together, we're Flamerton Famous. We'll see you on the update.